Tonight on CTV News, we have a brief interview with Colorado's governor. Then later on, we take a look at an event for veterans on campus.
All this plus weather, sports, and entertainment coming up on CTV News.
Good evening and thanks for watching CTV News. Filling in for Willis Scott, I'm Clark Kent.
And I'm Lois Lane. Let's get started. Former Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz will hold a rally in Loveland. The rally will raise support for U.S. Senate candidate Daryl Glenn. Congressman Ken Buck will also be at the rally. The event begins at 11 in the morning Wednesday and runs until 12:15 in the afternoon. It will be held at the Embassy Suites Hilton Conference Center. Registration is required for the event and can be found on the Daryl Glenn website. Glenn is facing incumbent U.S. Senator Michael Bennet. The latest Politico poll says Glenn is polling at just over 35%, whereas Bennet is sitting at 51%. Glenn is currently serving his second term as the El Paso District 1 Commissioner. His district has over 130,000 people. He is a lawyer, small business owner, and retired Air Force officer. For more information about the Get Out and Vote rally, please visit Daryl Glenn for U.S. Senate website.
Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper was at CSU Friday. The governor and members of his cabinet hosted a town hall meeting. The town hall discussion focused on funding college. They also talked about expanding I-25 and developing more forms of alternative transportation. Hickenlooper says the state constitution requires the state to pay $242 million for education. However, the state's budget only has $116 million available. After the meeting, Hickenlooper explained why he doesn't support Amendment 69. Amendment 69 would make Colorado the first state to have universal health care.
We put so much effort into creating the Affordable Care Act and implementing the Affordable Care Act. I think it's just too soon to throw everything out the window. I think we're going to get more benefit by trying to, bend down the cost curve within the system we have. Again, we'll see in some, 3 years, 5 years, we might have to revisit this. But I think at this point it would just be too traumatic to the system, to use a medical term.
Governor Hickenlooper says that health care and education are related issues. As states spend more on health care, they have less money to give to schools.
Colorado State University's Women and Gender Advocacy Center has established the Academic Retention Scholarship. And to help raise the money for the endowment, one local brewery is hosting a benefit. A dinner hosted by Fort Collins Brewery is Thursday, October 27th at 6 p.m. The event will be held at the brewery's Modern Tavern on Lincoln Avenue. 100% of the proceeds from the four-course dinner, paired with Fort Collins Brewery beers and Colorado wines, will be donated to the Academic Retention Scholarship Fund. The scholarship will be a one-time awarded designed to support students who have re-enrolled in courses from which they withdrew as a result of past or present trauma. To help ease that financial burden, tickets are $50 per person and are available at the wgacbenefit.eventbrite.com.
According to the 2014-15 non-tenure track survey at CSU, 60% of undergraduate classes are taught by non-tenure track faculty. Adjunct faculty face challenges with work compensation, are underrepresented in faculty council, and receive little to no teaching evaluation. The chair of the Faculty Council's Standing Committee on Non-Tenure Track Faculty, Jenny Morse, says 40% of the non-tenure track faculty have been at the university for over 10 years. There is a discrepancy between how non-tenure track and tenure track faculty are treated. The most distinguishable difference is pay. A recent proposal from the Faculty Council may improve the situation for non-tenure track faculty. The proposal aims to correct the issue by requiring all faculty to be hired through the Office of Equal Opportunity.
Colorado State University students competed in a 48-hour challenge to create a virtual reality experience over the weekend. RamHack was a hackathon where teams of people work on software projects. The event was part of the CSU's virtual reality initiative, which aims to expand VR use on campus. 8 teams competed for cash prizes by creating VR experiences. The team in first place took home $1,000. The 3 to 5 person teams were comprised of undergraduate and graduate students. The hackathon took place in the Aylesworth Design Lab, home to a temporary VR studio or demo lab. Teams had access to the innovative research space and the computer lab. A nearby classroom had been converted into a sleep zone, and the hallway held food for the teams. Alumni groups toured the hackathon on Saturday. In addition to viewing the design space, they were able to experience the CSU VR experience that premiered on Friday.
CSU hosted a Veterans Symposium Monday and Tuesday. The symposium focused on preparing veterans to transition from higher education into careers. It was geared towards student veterans and employers. The symposium offered keynote speakers, breakout sessions, panel discussions, and a student veteran and employer networking session. The president of the organization, Student Veterans of America, was one of the keynote speakers. Jared Lyons says CSU does a good job of providing resources and support for veterans.
One of the things that's really kind of cool about being here at Colorado State University is really just seeing how well student veterans are integrated into their campus community. With nearly 1,500 student veterans at Colorado State University, there's an awful lot of awesome happening here. And what's really cool too is to see just the leadership roles that student veterans are taking, not only in their SVA chapters here at CSU, but really in all different campus organizations as well as in their local communities. It's really cool to see.
Lyons says that events like the symposium are a part of the way universities can support veterans. Veterans can find resources at the Adult and Student Veterans Services Office.
With the growing concern for the local homelessness problem in Fort Collins, multiple organizations in and around Fort Collins are working together on a new campaign. Colorado State University's SLICE office, the Murphy Center for Hope, and the Homelessness Prevention Initiative are working together on a community-wide campaign to end homelessness in Fort Collins. The events are part of the Homelessness Awareness and Action Month in November. This is the first time the three organizations have partnered together for the campaign during the course of November. They will be combining their efforts and host events and activities around CSU that the community can take part in. At the end of the project, the Murphy Center for Hope and HPI will hold 2 community events in Fort Collins to help bring the month to a close. For more information about the events, visit the SLICE Facebook page, and more information about the HPI can be found at homelessnessprevention.net.
This past Saturday was a national day for protest. The protest against police brutality has been going on since 1996. In support of the cause, students took to the plaza and wrote down the names of over 800 victims of police brutality in this year alone. Students then held a vigil in remembrance of the names.
I think the biggest part, of us doing this today is just bringing the conversation, out and making it happen. Because I think part of the problem is that we're not having these conversations, or the conversations are happening, just in, certain classes or certain spaces.
Well, that is all the latest in news.
But coming up, Elizabeth Prossi has the full weather forecast.